I'm gonna be honest with you. I freaking forgot to press record on the first maybe 40 minutes of this interview with Mac G. All the audio is there, so I've uploaded that there. But halfway through, it's the one problem with drinking whiskey while you're doing a podcast. You start drinking before the show. You want to be relaxed. You want it to be natural, so you do the whole thing. Anyway, so like a idiot, I didn't press record when we started, which was some gold in there as well. So what I've done going forward is I've laid the audio over a still image for the first sort of half an hour, 45 minutes. And then once the video kicks in, you'll see the video. So it'll pick up then. My apologies. Welcome to What's Your Poison? I'm a douchebag and you're going to have to deal with it. Mac Juice in the house.
Hinda, Marimini. What's going on? What's going on, John Savage?
Who is the motherfucking legend who named you MacGyver?
It's gotta be my mother, man. She liked that show.
Yeah? Are you really named after MacGyver?
Yeah, she used to watch that show. She liked it a lot. And yeah, man, she named me MacGyver.
And you know how they say a name? Have you lived up to any? Can you like build a tank out of an old used cereal box and a pencil?
Nah, none of that shit. Listen. Wait.
Right.
You can tell I got my grandeur.
Oh, there's the poison. I got some poison. I got a Thai whiskey over here called Kavalan.
Which one's that, bro?
It's Thai. It's really mad. I'll show it to you.
I recently tried some whiskey. I like Glenmorangie. That's my shit.
You like good shit then, bro?
Yeah.
This is called Kavalan, and it's a Thai whiskey, which is really weird, but cool. It's delicious.
Why aren't you supporting local, man? Fuck Thailand.
No, I do. What I do is every show we do a different whiskey, so we do them all.
And you should do just local whiskeys.
Yeah, well, you know how many local whiskeys there are? Like 2. So I'll just be going like, oh, it's Baines again.
All right, take a shot. Take a shot before asking this question. Are you ready? Take a shot. Take a shot.
Okay, first tell me what. That's your own gin. This is Mac G's own personal gin brand.
Man, and the thing. Yeah, the thing about this is like, I'm not a face. You know, most of these brands, they get a face, and they get a big celebrity who's got numbers, hoping they'll push units for them. Like literally, I started this from the beginning. Like me and my woman, we did the recipe. So it's like there's no white man behind this. Like it's just all me, bro.
Well, cheers to that, bro. That's really cool. And I want to know more about how you started that. But let's. Oh, you got it in a nice cup, so it's classy.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Did we meet? Didn't you play at a party at the Mamas? The first Mamas.
Yeah.
Did we meet at the Mamas or not?
Hey, dude, I remember, man. The Mamas was lit. I was just happy to be. Was it the one in Nigeria?
Yes, that was fucking crazy. That was crazy.
I saw Flo Rida rehearse, and then as I was leaving Flo Rida rehearse, I went back to the hotel and I saw the game, and we're having a lunch together. I was like, "Yo, what up, dog?"
That guy was. I actually like pissed myself a little bit when he walked past me. He's scary.
Yeah, no, he's very intimidating. He had like these goons and whatnot.
I know they walk. But do you remember that we performed there? That Cassette performed at that Mamas with Ikichuku and a guy from Naito C from Kenya. Do you remember that?
Wait, John, are you part of Cassette?
Are you joking now?
You fucking kidding me, bro?
What? Of course you know that. Are you fucking with me now?
No, I'm being serious. You part of Cassette?
Yeah, I was the singer. You bullshit.
Shit, I know you. No, I kid you not. I know you're the 5FM dude, bro. I didn't know you were fucking part of Cassette.
So I remember the game walking past us backstage with his 6 bodyguards, and it was terrifying.
Baby, please can I have some dash there? I need some dash. I can't drink this clean.
So then you DJ'd at a party there afterwards, right?
Yeah, I was there at the ceremony, and then after that we went to a party, and because I play house, and it was weird that night because like Nigeria is very Is it colloquial? Is the word? Yeah. So they just wanted to hear some Nigerian shit, and I'm coming in there with my house thing, and then eventually I ended up playing hip hop. I remember I played the first hip hop song I played was Lloyd Banks, "Be My Benz a Bentley," and the crowd went crazy. Baby, please give me, baby, can I have some tonic there, please? What did you think about Nigeria, though?
I loved it. I thought it was bananas. Yeah. And we had a crazy, I think we partied with one of the ministers in his hotel room with like 30 hookers. It was the craziest and scariest experience of my life because I actually thought they were going to kill us because it was the minister of like transport. It was us and dancing hookers everywhere and just food and drinks coming in by the bucket load. He was paying in cash, and we all looked at each other and thought, "Are we gonna get out of here alive?" It was crazy,
dude. MTV showed me life, man. Like it was crazy. Like I remember when I was in Angola, that was the first time I bought a hooker outside of South Africa, and she didn't understand English, so I'm just trying to say to her, "How much?" So I'm like, how much? She didn't understand any English, bro.
Well, how was your sign language? Did it work?
No, it worked eventually. But yeah, man. But I went to Brazil and I know how to say bonita bonita. It means you're beautiful.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Is it the beard?
Yeah. It's gotta be.
You've had a radical career, actually. I think we're quite similar, actually, you and me. We've had a very weird, I always feel like an outsider of the industry. Do you feel that way?
I'll tell you something, bro. I'll tell you, man, like when I first met you, man, I'm all about energies, man. Like I'm very big on energies and vibes, you know? Fuck, that was so crazy. A friend of mine was telling me this yesterday. Nelson Makomo, you know Nelson Makomo?
Yeah.
Huge guy. And I didn't know how big Nelson was until yesterday. And my friend was telling me how big he was. Like Oprah buys his art and he's done this, he's done that. But when I met him, we were literally at my friend's house and we were braaiing. And I just saw a normal nigga, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, cool guy. And that's the thing with me, bro. Like I when I see people, I don't base them on color or skin and what they've done, how big their Twitter following is, whatever. It's just basically energies, man. And with you, the reason why I love working with you and I still want to work with you is the energies, you know what I mean? Like everything we do, yes, you know, you've got objectives you got to meet for your clients, and so do I. But it's never felt like work when I'm with you, you know? And
cool, man.
and yeah, man, like energies are a big thing for me, man. Like, because at the end of the day, man, we're all humans. We're all shit at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter how many millions you have in the bank account, how famous you are, how many followers you are. If you're a shit person, you're a shit person.
Well, you're amazing because you've got lots of followers and you're a shit person. Jokes. That's a total joke. You just set me up for that. No, I love, you know, this is not meant to be a wank fest, but it's turning into one. What you're doing in your podcast, the way you handle your interviews, they're uncompromising, and that is a very rare. And I mean, it's art to me what you're doing, and that's why I think it's so important to bring in the brand, to help support you continue doing what you're doing, not to do let's do the shiny version, but to keep on doing what you do because no one does it that way. And
let me tell you something. Let me go get it. Let me go get my mixer. I think my girl's in the toilet. Let me go get my mixer and I'll tell you what happened. Hold on. Yeah. So what I'm saying, right, is that a lot of people that I've met recently, because the podcast has, taken a life of its own. They're always like, "Yo, man, I'm so inspired. I love what you're doing. Like you're saying, I love your interviewing skills." And for me, I never sat down to map out, okay, cool, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. Like the podcast, for example, I just literally wanted to be on the mic, That's all I've ever loved. That's all I ever want to do. And it wasn't like a deep thing where I have to sit down and read books and get all these philosophers to direct me to a path. It was like, all right, cool. I want to be behind the mic. 947 fired me. What can I do? Oh, shit. Let me start a podcast. Bought a mic, cost me 5K, chilled with my baby mama, with my best friend. We sat on the couch. We started this thing. And then it's a monster that it is now. But like, it's always weird when people are like, you inspire me and whatever, because my goal was not to inspire people. My goal was not to be a philosopher and be this intellectual person who can sit and say, yeah, look at me. Hey, this is what I've done, whatever. I just literally wanted to be behind the mic. And I cannot explain to you why what's happening is what's happening. Like, it's beyond me. I sometimes don't even believe it. I need to pinch myself, because I just literally wanted to be behind the mic, and that's it.
Tell me about your last days on FM and the sort of migration into the digital world. Well, I mean, we were forced there because the station, for me, the stations didn't want us, didn't want me anyway.
But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was nothing was ever conscious, bro. It was literally like, all right, cool. What can you do? Because I come from a background where you don't what's the word? Rest on your laurels. Laurels, is that the word?
Rest on your laurels. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if life hits you, if life smacks you in the face, you're like, all right, cool. What's next? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Very well.
It was. So it was like, all right, cool. I'm fine. What can I do? All right, let me start a podcast. What do I need? Need a mic. Get a mic. Upload it on YouTube. Boom. So it's like, there's nothing profound that I'm going to say.
Tell me about your viewership count for the first year or two. Like, how do you motivate? How were you doing in the early days, and how did you just push through all of that stuff?
So for me, it's not even about, yes, we're at a point now where you need to monetize, obviously. You got to feed the family. I've got a kid. These fucking kids eat 3 times a day. You got to feed them,
I don't let mine do that.
But when I started, honestly, I didn't think about monetization. I never thought that one day I'd be in AMP Studios talking to Cloud Baller, who's the CEO or whatever, managing director at Spotify. It never crossed my mind. It was just literally like, being behind the mic feeds my soul. So it was never about views. It was just like, yo, we did a show. I'm happy. Cool.
But surely getting 6 views had no impact. So if you got 6 views on your 20th episode, you're like, just keep on trucking, doesn't matter.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, when you bust a nut, do you count how many minutes you lost to that round? Some are shorter, some are longer. But you just want to bust a nut.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal. You know what I mean?
So it was just, you just needed to get it out. You just wanted to do it. Didn't matter about where it was going.
Yeah. So it was just an outlet for me, whereby in the week, I had a time where I could just be myself and fulfill the hunger that I had of being in the mic. And if 5 people watched it, 1,000 people watched it, 20,000 people watched it, it was all good. I just got to be behind the mic and bust that nut.
How many years have you been doing that podcast?
2 years now.
Shit. Amazing.
Yeah, we're going into 3 years. Yeah.
And at what point on that trajectory did it actually start going like, okay, this is a little bit more than busting my nut. It is actually something that I'm gonna.
So how it started is I wanted to, because I realized, all right, cool, in this industry, if you're quiet for a while, out of mind. What is it? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
yes.
People think you don't exist anymore.
Exactly. For example, like I didn't know you were doing a podcast until we worked on Amped, because you've been out of sight for a while, in terms of the radio space. I could say the same for Mark Gilman. I don't know what the fuck Mark Gilman's at.
Mark Gilman is in London selling advertising to radio stations. There you go.
So he's been out of sight.
Hasn't been on the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, cool. What I need to do is let me try to do this thing so maybe some program managers can see and hear that, hey, I'm still here, and hopefully by April,
you'll get a job.
They can be like, oh, yeah, I'll get a job. That was the plan.
Yeah.
That was the plan. And then like 2-3 months doing this thing, I interviewed Zintle, DJ Zintle. I went to a house with an iPad and we shot this thing. I was still getting like 100 views, 200 views, whatever my family was watching, friends were watching, that accumulated to 200 views. And then Zintle did the one thing that since I've started this thing, no celebrity has ever done, which is she took our episode and she put it as a link on Instagram. And if you swiped up, you could go straight to the link. Because normally what happens is when I interview celebrities, they do the interview, they fuck off. They never tweet about it, post about it, whatever. It's just like, okay, job done. Boom, boom. But she was the first to like swipe up. And remember, she's got like 3 million, 2 million followers on Instagram, So when she did that, it spiraled. So from 200 views, it became 2,000, and then became 10,000, and became 20,000. And then I remember when it became 10,000, I was chatting to Len. I'm like, fuck, dude, we might not even need to go back to radio. Like, if we can grow these numbers, there's no need, bro.
Now you own your audience. I mean? You don't have to build someone else's audience. It's your audience.
Exactly. And
that's power.
If it wasn't for Zintle, I wouldn't have realized the power that what I was doing could accumulate to.
Fucking awesome.
Is that the Irish whiskey?
It's Thai, bro. It's Thai. I got a mad collection of whiskeys here. Mad. Because of this goddamn show.
And also, it was another driving force to why I was like, fuck it, let me do this, was to show 947, like, you made the wrong choice.
Revenge is the best motivator. It drives me every day. That's the driving force. Prove all these fuckers wrong. And there's fire in that, I get that. It's particularly, I felt, when I got dosed off of 5FM, they said this was their exact thing, and I think that was the wrong decision. It was at a pivotal moment when the digital world wasn't quite ready to take off yet, and they were scared of it. And they said, this is the problem with your show, John. You have built a massive audience for your show. But the problem is, it's not the 5FM audience. You're building an audience who doesn't listen to 5, and then they tune in for your show, and they tune out. And we have to ask ourselves, do we want to continue growing our core audience, or do we want to grow all these other audiences? And they decided no, they didn't want these sort of splinter audiences. They wanted to grow their core audience. So they were like, you're gone. And I was gutted.
Yeah, man. I remember, dude, and it's so weird. Fuck. It's so weird that what's happening now. That's why everything happens for a reason, man. I learned it when I was in an I-47. So this is how it transpired. I was doing late nights and whatever, and I do stuff that, Ravi Naidu, ne? You know Ravi
Yes.
Naidu. Yeah. So I'll do stuff. Yeah. Google him if you're not in radio. He's been there. He's part of the furniture there at Prime Media.
The gatekeeper.
So, so he said to me this one time, he's like, "Hey, Mac, I love your show, whatever, you good broadcaster, whatever. But sometimes, like, you just left, and some of the shit you say, it would be nice if we had another channel." So it's like, so the other side that we don't like of you, if that lived on YouTube, it'd be dope, right? And then I went to a staff meeting one day, and then Anlele said during the staff meeting that it's important to have celebrity interviews on your show, because then those celebrities bring their audience to your show. So if you bring an AKA, he's going to bring his audience, you know what I'm saying? And if they didn't know about that radio show, now they're going to know about it because you've got AKA and he's going to advertise it, whatever. So, like, that's what the podcast is. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's Ravi Naidu's podcast.
And Nanele.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I totally
Because I realized,
you put all the pieces together.
Cool. Yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. If I do that and I do that and I do that and I piece it together, we've got this thing. Because the main aim for the celebrity interviews is to inform them and make them aware that, hey, there's a channel like this that exists. And then there's a Monday episode where we get crazy and talk all the shit that we want. And then obviously, if you get an interview that has 100,000 views, there'll be 10,000, 20,000 that stay for the Monday episode. And that's how you get to 100,000 and so forth.
I mean, what is your interviewing style? Like, what are your objectives, and how do you approach? Because they're so fresh. The way you do it's so cool. What is your like preparation? What are you trying to do, or do you just turn on the mic and see what's what?
A lot of people always ask me that, and it's been 10 years in the making, believe it or not. For 10 years, I did a lot of graveyard shifts. So graveyard, man. You back announce.
Yep.
Yeah, you back announce. You play 6 songs, 30 minutes. So during that time, I would be studying broadcasters, like from Australia, Carl and Jackie O, Howard Stern. Who's that guy from the UK? Fuck, I forgot him.
Chris Moyles?
Who's that? Norton something. Chris Moyles, yes.
Graham Norton?
Him. Graham Norton, yes. So during my time when I was doing graveyard, I was studying these guys. So, because I knew that one day I want to do drive time. And when I want to do drive time, I wanted to equip myself with all the knowledge that I needed to make it a banging show. Because what you got to understand is that when you get drive time or breakfast, you only have that one chance to impress. So if you're not prepared, you can either flank or kill it. And if you kill it, you sort it. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. I'm doing graveyard. It's fine. But let me use this time to equip myself and empower myself with all the knowledge that I need so that when I do drive, I can kill it. But it just happened to be that the podcast is not my drive time show.
I love that you said that. And it explains a lot to me about how you work, because this is the thing to me. This is a terrible thing to say. I think that a lot of the local DJs don't get it. Like the fact what you're saying is you listen to the greats. You listen to the guys who are doing it their own way. You learn from them and you are like, okay, I understand what they're kind of doing. I want to do that. Whereas what I find locally, what we do is we go, okay, that guy's got a feature, carpool karaoke. It's working really well. I'm going to just do that, right? We're going to do it. We're going to call it in the car singing okie, and it's me. And I find there are very few, very unique, we have DJs who have the voice. This is a DJ's voice. But we don't have a lot of DJs who have that personality, and when you look overseas, like one of the things I remember from my childhood that had a big impact on me was, you know, the SABC continuity presenters are like really hot, very sexy. They have the personality of corn on the cob, right? And once when I was traveling actually with cassette and I was watching the TV in the UK, they had this continuity presenter who was a red-haired guy with funny geeky thing and freckles, and it was fucking hilarious. And his his links between the shows were the best entertainment. And I was like, oh, it's all about what you bring to the thing. It's not about like the feature that's working. It's about the person. And we don't have a lot of personalities behind the mic.
What I learned from the very beginning, because when I first got into Y, I'd sit into there's a guy called Amon, so I'd sit into Amon's show and I listened to him. I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, this is dope. And then I even went to Fresh's show when he was at 5. And I sat with him, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how Fresh does his show.
Fresh is an exception. Fresh is an original voice. To me, he is the beacon.
But here's what I'm getting to. And then I go to Rude Boy Paul. I'm like, okay, Rude Boy Paul does this. So what I realized, I was like, fuck, that's fucked up. Because the more and more I listen to Fresh, the more and more I'm going to become like Fresh.
Right.
The more and more I listen to Amon, the more and more I'm going to become like Amon. So what I need to do is actually not listen to them. Uh-huh. So have a blank canvas whereby whatever I'm doing is new because I'm not influenced by anything. I realized that, okay, the more and more I listen to Amon, the more and more I'm just going to become a better imitation of Amon or a better imitation of Fresh. So I stopped listening to everybody. But, you know, I draw inspiration. Like, for example, when I start my show, I say, Hinda. That's a vendor colloquial thing, but it stems from Howard Stern. Howard Stern, every time he says his show, he says, hey now. So I'm like, all right, cool. How can I spin it to make it Mac G and,
super cool,
you know, resonate with me? I was like, I'm Venda. Let me go Hinda. So wherever I go, when I say Hinda, people know that's Mac G. But it stems from Howard Stern because every time he starts the show, he goes, hey now. He's been saying that for 30 years.
That's cool. So you're a craftsman. You are totally focused on the craft. It's not fun and games. You're deep in the well of studying the greats, understanding the things, adopting all this stuff. It's not just dumb luck that you're just like killing it.
Nah, bro. It's 10 years in the making. Like I said, like Graveyard, bro. I was studying. I was watching Grey Norton. I was like, all right, cool. I watch Sway in the morning. I'm like, hey, cool. How does he do this thing? I watch Howard. I watch Ryan Seacrest. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And
you're not going to believe this. I wasn't even recording the video. I pressed it. I was recording the audio. Fuck. I pressed it and didn't record. Anyway, doesn't matter. Fuck that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's an audio. Luckily, it's an audio podcast, not a video podcast. But fuck, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Cocksucker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like guess who my favorite broadcaster of all time in SA? You're not gonna get this, bro. If you get this, I will send you a bottle of Granger right now.
Okay, what is this? Give me a clue. The station. What station were they on?
He used to work at 947.
Say that again. He used to work at 947.
Yeah, Highfield stereo.
It can't be Alex J.
I'm gonna give you one chance.
It's not Alex J. Can't be. Okay. Best
this
DJ.
This guy was fucking phenomenal. This guy did not get the chance. This guy could have taken radio to the next level if Ravi believed in him, if Ravi took a risk on him. This guy was the be all and end all for me. And this is a black guy who grew up listening to YFM, listening to Rude Boy Paul, Bad Boy T, Fresh, or Smooth. But when I heard this guy, it's a white guy. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What radio is this? This is before your Mark Gilmans, your Roger Good. When I heard this guy, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm scared that I don't even know who this person is.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Reverend fucking John.
Reverend John. Really?
Dude, top 8 at 8. Top 8 at 8. Fuck out of here, bro. Reverend John. Reverend John. It's him, Fat Joe. Dan.
Fat Joe. Fuck, cool.
Dan.
Nice. So what was the thing about Reverend John?
Bro, man. I don't know if it... I don't know if it was because I was young and he was the first kind of voices I heard, but that guy, bro, you do some shit just like Fat Joe does, where you're like, how the fuck does this guy think of this, bro? You know, Reverend John, bro. Yeah. You know, I was meant to do breakfast at 947. He was a controller, but he was so overpowering. He overpowered what's his name? Jeremy Mansfield, that they had to give him his own show. He started as a controller. Yeah.
That's cool. Where's he now? Is he still around?
Last time I heard, he was in the States doing something, but he's quit radio, man. But that nigga was fucking...
Get him on your show, bro. You got to get him on.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice, man. Reverend John. Even Ravi knows. I told Ravi, I'm like, yo, bro, I listened to Highfeld because of Reverend John. Top 888. He'd give away CDs.
What did you think of Gilman in his day?
Okay, I'll tell you about Gilman. I never heard him because when I started listening to 5FM, I heard Gareth Cliff. But because I listened to Howard, I just knew like Gareth Cliff is a copy, cut and paste of Howard. Like literally, like Howard would say something on Friday, and then Gareth would say the same thing on a Monday. You know, so I don't respect Gareth for that because he's a cut and copy. You know, with Mark Gilman, I never listened to him, but
he was an original voice.
I can hear sounds of him on Roger Good.
Right. I mean, Mark. I'll tell you what. I have a radio memory. It was life-changing for me. It's actually what made me fall in love with radio. It was Gilman. And you know who he had? Michael Flatley in studio. Do you remember Michael Flatley? He was Riverdance. He was an international star doing Riverdance around the world, but apparently he was a total like cocksucker. And he came late to the interview, and apparently he was a real dick. And Mark was the host. So they were doing this interview. They were in the middle of this interview, and it was getting tense. And suddenly they cut to a music break.
Shit.
For like 10 minutes. And when they came back, Mark had written a speech. And he said, I paraphrase because I can't remember, but it was, to me, an iconic moment in the world of radio. He said, you know, I live for my audience. Like, I know my voice is annoying, but every day I live and breathe for my audience. When I speak, I'm not just like coming out with stuff I think is cool. I live for you, the audience. And this guy not only arrived late, meaning he disrespects my audience, but his fucking attitude he brought in here, the way he was not sort of thing. I just cut him off and told him, get the hell out of my studio. And he said, do you know who I am? And I said, I don't care who you are. This is radio. You arrive here and you respect the people that are listening here. They've given, they're here for you. You don't matter. Get out. And there was a bit of an altercation and he's gone. And I apologize to you guys that you had to endure that. I just wanted you to know that's what happened. Let's move on with the show. And in that moment, I went like, radio is powerful. It's not just people talking, playing songs. There's power there. It was such a big moment for me to go like, radio. That's where it's at, And I always loved Gilman for that. I didn't care. because in that moment I got into his head and always wanted to know what he was thinking, and the way he did that, it was really amazing.
But that's the thing, bro. That's what radio is about. It's a reflection of society. You understand? If someone disrespects you in your own house, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tell them, "Hey, fuck you."
Yeah, but most DJs, they worship the person on the other. They worship the celebrity before the audience. That's what I'm saying. That was such an iconic moment because I wouldn't have done that. I would have just gone, "Oh yes, Mr. Flatley. No, Mr. Flatley." This guy said, "My audience comes first, and you global superstar can fuck right off because you don't care about my audience. I don't want you in this room anymore." That was amazing.
And that's what I said to you. If Jack Daniels comes to me and says they've got 150,000, I said to you, if it does not resonate with my audience, I'll tell them fuck off. Because that audience is there to stay. You understand? Jack Daniels, all these brands come and go. You know, we are a servant of the people. And and that's what radio has lost. Radio is corporate. Like, there's no difference to listening to Pick and Pay FM to a 947. Literally, if you're not doing drive or breakfast, you just do live reads.
You're just holding the airwaves until lunch, till drive time.
Exactly. You play voice notes, competition's out. That's a disconnect.
Yeah,
it's a disconnect.
I
agree.
Know what I mean? I failed miserably, but I started a radio station, the I, which is now nearly 5 years old. But I couldn't get it to work. And the point of the radio station was to just make radio that was actually what I felt was important radio, but nobody gave a fuck. That's the truth of it. I think on the I, we've had some of the edgiest. The radio I'm most proud of on planet Earth is on that station, but the listenership's like 36 after 4 years, Yeah. So I don't know what you do. I don't know what you've done so brilliantly. Well, I know what you've done. You've just done what you do.
That's the
thing. I should have got you on the I. I should have come on. I should have had your audience.
No, bro, man. I'm just doing what I love. It just happens that people like it.
You are really like a solo beacon in this crazy industry. Tell me a bit about your parents, your relationship with your parents, how you grew up, all that shit.
Bro, man. I was brought up by my mom. No dad. There's no story there, man. I was brought up by my mom. I stayed in Venda for a while.
Where's your dad? What happened to your dad?
No, my he was a spam. He was a spam.
You're Jesus. I knew it. No, you're the Jesus. You're the podcasting Jesus.
No, my I like that. I'm gonna trademark that. I like that.
Mac G, the podcasting Jesus. I like it.
No. My mom had me when she was young. She was like 18, and my dad was absent. He's been absent ever since. So my mom grew me up, but I stayed with my aunt in Venda.
Have you met your dad?
Yeah, I've met him.
Oh, so have you got a relationship with him?
Yeah, I got a relationship with him, but it's not like, you can't make up for past, But we're cool. Like, I call him, he knows where I stay. He comes, we chill. But like,
Do you call him dad?
No.
No.
But if Old Mutual gives me 1 million, I'm not gonna call him first. I'm not gonna call him. I'll call my mom and say, "Yo, Old Mutual just gave me a bag for 1 million," and then I'll probably tell him like 6 months later. So I know him. We cool. We cordial. We chilled. But it's like, it is what it is, man.
What's your mom like?
Hey, man, my mom is strict, bro. My mom is strict, bro. Like, my mom is strict, man. Like, I'm the total
strict.
She's the total opposite of me. Like, I'm chilled, man. I don't like. You know what my mom is like? she's the type of lady where if you go to a restaurant, we order, right? I'll say, can I please have a obviously I'm with her, I can't drink because she doesn't like the fact that I drink. She hates the fact that I smoke. Even worse. So I can't say, can I have a beer? I'll say, can I have some lemonade? Passion fruit and lemonade, yes. And then she'll say, can I have some hot water? The waiter will come and then she'll say, no, this water is not hot enough. Please make it hot. And then the waiter will go back. Waiter comes back and she'll say, no, this water is too hot. Please, whatever. She's like that. That time I'm like, yo, man, fucking hell, what the fuck?
Is she creative?
No, she's just OCD.
Oh,
OCD.
I mean that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you like your mum?
She's very outspoken. So am I, and she's very funny. I like to think. In more ways than one, I'm actually just like my mother. Fuck. Yeah, it's a good question, man. It's a good question. Yeah, no, she's very outspoken, man, and she's just free. Like we talk about sex, you know what I mean? You know, we talk about sex, and
In what way? She tells you about her sex life. You talk about your sex life. You compare. What do you mean? You talk about sex with your mom?
yeah, she'll tell me like, hey, this boyfriend is not doing the things, the pause.
Serious? That's amazing.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to do a podcast with my mother,
bro.
But I want it to be an audio version, bro.
I did one. I've done one with my mum, right?
Yeah.
And I really believe that there should be a whole podcast series of kids interviewing their parents.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, you know, we just pick it up. We don't actually go and ask the questions of our parents that we should.
For example, she wanted to abort me, dog.
See, you've got to fucking do this interview. You and her. Yeah. You got to do it.
And the thing is, after that, she tried to have more kids. She couldn't.
Wow, that's so fucking hectic. I could be talking to a blank screen right now.
You know? And that's what I'm saying. She's open about that. Like, she told me, she's like, yo, dude, I wanted to abort you, bro. Because your father was fucking up. You know?
So crazy.
Yeah, no. Like, she's like my best friend, man. She's like my best friend.
Do you speak to her every day?
No, not every day. Not every day. I don't know. Does that make me a mama's boy?
You know what? I think mama's boys are cool. You know, take care of your mom. Look what they did for us, bro.
Yeah, man. No, she did a lot, man.
And I'll tell you, this is the reason I did a podcast on my mom was because my dad passed away way too early.
Shit, man.
And I always regret that I didn't really. And right before he died, he actually started writing a book about his life, and his life was fucking crazy. And he only wrote the first chapter or the first two. And reading those two chapters, was like, I actually didn't know shit about it. I wish I could sit and have that chat. And I think we all, as kids, it sounds different with you, but with me, I realized that I never treated my parents like people because I'm instantly a child when I'm around my mom. I'm instantly that kid. So I never think, oh, that person's an actual person who's lived a life and done these things. So that's why I wanted to talk to you and ask you crazy questions. Yeah.
I think the one thing with COVID, what has made me realize is that, man, life is short, man. You gotta appreciate every moment. And the one thing, fuck, I gotta get a drink for this so I can tell you. Hold on. Actually, my woman doesn't want to mix for me. Hold on.
She's still on the toilet.
Yeah. So, Where was I? Where was
I'm gonna fill up. You're about to tell me a great story, and then you wanted a drink before you told me.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So my mom grew up in Venda, right? With my aunts, okay? And then my mom came this side in Joburg, right? To work so she can provide a better life for me, right? So I come this side, I go to Fairways, good school, good primary school. I was a Victor DeLorean there.
Really?
Yeah, my name is
Amazing.
on those fucking things, man. In the hall, whatever. And then I went to Hyde Park High. So here I am, bro. I'm in Joburg, bro. Black kid. It's the new South Africa. Went to a multiracial school. In my school, there's white kids, Indians.
What year are we looking at here?
I matriculated 2005, so high school would be 2000. Is it 2000? 1999?
You matriculated 2005.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Cool.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
So multiracial school, whatever. Now I come from a
I
background
think you mean a
where,
Model C school.
yeah, Model C,
It was
yeah,
called.
yeah. I wrote IEP exams, motherfucker. So now everyone, everyone in the family is like, yo, after matric, what are you gonna study? You know what I mean? Because we come from that age where you gotta be a doctor or an accountant. That's when like
Mm.
you sort it. And I was like, nah. And I told my mom, like,
Wait. What did your mum want you to be? A doctor or a lawyer or an accountant?
she didn't care. She said,
Okay.
as long as I do what I love, I'm good. And because of the school I was at, I felt the pressure. There was a time in grade 11 where we're in an accounting class and the teacher asked us, what do you want to be? And everybody was like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be an accountant. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a geologist. All the ists that you can imagine.
All this.
Yeah. And then when it came to me, I was like, yo, fuck. I want to say I want to be a radio DJ, but I know they're gonna laugh at me because it was looked down upon, you know. It was like, what the fuck? What the fuck wants to be a radio DJ? So I just said I want to be an accountant. So my mom saw, because she saw me, that I like music and I like entertaining or whatever. She's like, all right, cool. You want to be an accountant? Shut. Let's go to an accounting firm. She took me to an accounting firm in Kilani, and the guy sat me down. He was like, yo, you got to study for 3 years. And then after 3 years, you got to get your master's in 5 years, and then blah, blah, blah. In total, it was 10 years to be a proper CA. And I was like, fuck that.
That shit is crazy. That still boggles my mind that that's what happens.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. And that's when she's like, you see, that's not for you. And then that's when I told her I want to be on radio. And then after I matriculated, I worked at a community station in Gandhi Square.
Hold on. You tell your mum you want to be in radio, not an accountant. What does she say? She says, "Cool. That's what you want to do.
She's,
That's what you do."
she says, cool. And she had saved about 180K for me to go to varsity. And we used that money to get a car. I was like, no, get a car. Now I'm gonna push my radio thing. I don't want to do varsity. That's not what I want to do. If I go there, I'll be doing something that I don't like. I want to
Yeah.
do radio, and I'm gonna push radio. And I bought myself a mic, and I'd practice at home. I'd interview her. I'd interview my late grand. I'd interview my cousins. Every time I got an opportunity to do something with someone at my house, I'll just record it, you know?
Have you
And
still got
then,
those recordings?
yeah, I do.
That's cool. That's really nice.
And then I went to JBCCR in Newtown, and it was literally just like we're broadcasting to all the people that were buying tickets to get buses. Newtown, there was a bus station, and we just broadcast to people catching buses and whatever, and that's where I learned my trade. And I was like, I want to be at YFM, and yeah, man, the rest was history, as they say.
No. So how did you get onto? I mean, this is such a great story. I love this. How did you go from saying I want to get onto YFM to getting onto YFM? That's a big deal.
So how I got into YFM is that
because you did the breakfast show on YFM, so you actually did
no
you?
stand-ins. No. I did stand-ins for every show. Every
Uh-huh.
show. I did stand-ins for every single show on the lineup. Breakfast, drive, midday, graveyard, weekend. I did every single show. There was a time when I was 947 where I was working 7 days a week. I had a show every single day. On Saturdays, I did 947 hits in a row, which was from 6 p.m. until midnight. I did 6 hours. So I'd work Monday to Friday, uh, 12 until 4. And then Saturday, I'll do 94 hits in a row from 6 p.m. until midnight. And then Sunday, I'll do 9 until 12. So I was working every single day. But how I got into Y was I did the 947 thing where they brought people on June 16, like young people who want to be in broadcasting. And that's where I met, fuck, what's this guy's name, man? It was a big deal there. Not Alex J, but he was that age. Fuck, what's his name? Anyway, he was standing in for Mark Pilgrim. And he brought us out. I was 16 years old. And he brought us out and he was like, do a link. So you got to remember, like, I've been doing links at home for the longest time. So when it was my turn to do a link, I fucking killed it because I've been practicing. You know what I mean? Killed it. And my mom asked this guy, like, so must my son go to Boston Media College to study radio? And then this guy, I forgot his name, man. You know him, bro. You know him. Give me all the Balis that were at 947. Give me the names. I'll tell you who it was.
I'll have to Google this. Okay, so 947 legends. I'm going to Google.
Yeah, during Alex Cage.
Definitely not John Carney. Oh no, that's Label M. And then it chats to John Legend and Mike Jackson. Oh no, this is not the one we want. Okay, so hold on.
Tell me the name. I remember this guy.
Legendary 947 DJs. Let's try Googling that. No.
Say Highfeld Stereo lineup 2005. Yes.
Okay, Highfeld lineup 2005.
Yeah.
It looks like I've never ever in my life heard Google say this. It says it looks like there aren't any matches for your search.
Okay, but it's fine. So that guy was there.
Hold on. It was a fresh new. Oh no, this is a 5FM lineup for 2005. Jeremy Mansfield. Okay. Anyway, somebody.
Yeah. So that guy is like, no, listen, your boy is good. He just needs a bit of training here and there. What I would suggest, he goes to a community station, and then he can work at a commercial station. So that's what I did. So now I'm trying to get to Y, right? It just so happens my mom owned a meter taxi business at the time. And lo and behold, guess who I'm transporting at the time? I'm transporting Dineo Ranaka. Guess where she stays? She stays at my complex. So I'm like, yo, Dineo, I fucking love YFM. I'm trying to get in there. And she was about to be on the new lineup with Chili M. So Dineo Ranaka's just like, listen, I'm doing the drive time with Chili M. It's full. So there's no space for you there. But there's a guy who's going to be on the lineup who I think you guys would gel. And his name happens to be Mo Flavor. So I'm like, hey, Dini, whatever you've got for me, I will do. It's cool. No stress. So for 6 months, I would drive Dineo to YFM. And then when I get to YFM, I would do a music show on Mo Flavor's show. So I had a segment for 5 minutes between 6:30 and 35 minutes, 25 minutes to 7. For those 5 minutes, I was just doing entertainment news, but I'd be at YFM the whole day just to do that 5 minutes. So while I'm chilling there, I'll see.
Once you swipe your little dingle in the door, you ain't coming out.
Yeah, exactly. So
and this is when YFM's in Rosebank?
Yeah, Rosebank. Yeah. So in Rosebank, I'm seeing Monday, I'm seeing Fresh, I'm seeing Unati, I'm seeing all these people, And then I did that for about 5 months. Here's the story, and I've told the story on my podcast a lot of times, but you probably don't know it. So at the time, Trevor Noah was doing midnight until 3 a.m. and Tolly B was doing 3 till 6 a.m. So 6 months within the new contract. So April is come and gone. It's 6 months into the new lineup. Trevor Noah decides, fuck it. He's not gonna do radio. He wants to focus on comedy.
What an idiot. Look what he missed out on.
So I remember the last time I met Trevor Noah was in Rosebank in the basement. I was doing a show after him, and he was like, yo, that's my last show on YFM. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm 18, dude. And I just want to be on radio, and YFM is the coolest shit. I'm like, why the fuck would you leave YFM? And he left. He did Mr. Saucy, and then, Daily Show. He is what he is now. And then when he left, they moved Tolly B to Trevor Noah's show.
To 12 to 3.
So now they needed someone to fill in Tolly B's show. And because I was there all the time, they're like, hey, let's try this kid. You know what I mean? Let's try this kid.
What was that? 3 to 6. What was the show?
3 to 6 weekends.
That's a proper graveyard.
After party. That's what I call the party. The show. Yeah. And bro, that's when I started, bro.
I had mass respect for you before this talk, but I'm like part of the tribe, bro. I'm a Mac G all in guy here.
But if you check the consistent thing, whether it's the podcast, whether it was when Trevor left and I got the YFM gig, whether it's 947, the consistent thing, all I've wanted to do was just be behind the mic. That's it.
And isn't it crazy that you were right in the thick of all of those things? And, you are someone who is the real deal. You are someone whose passion, is you study the craft, you've got the experience that this commercial world still can't find a place for you. But it's so obvious from the success you're having that there is there's a massive place for you. You are proving them wrong. You've proved them wrong in the biggest way because they wish they have what you have.
The thing is, like I keep saying to you, like that's not my objective. My objective wasn't to prove people wrong and to
But come on, it's cool, isn't it?
It's cool. Like it's a huge pat in the back. Pat in the back.
Pat on the black. There's another. You can patent that as well. Mac G. He's your weekend pat on the black.
Yeah, it's a cool validation. Yeah. It's a cool dog. What you're doing is dope. But what I'm trying to say is that wasn't my objective.
No.
So everything that is happening subsequent to what I've done is a bonus for me. So if I can inspire someone, it's a bonus. I'm not saying I go out and I wake up wanting to inspire people. No. That's not my objective. I want to entertain. But if I can inspire and if I can create a new lane and a new way of people to think, so be it. But it's just a subsequent of who I am. It's an addition.
Right, let me ask you last 2 questions, and you can go.
Baby, baby, tell them she's saying, "Hey, I gotta go now." Show some bums.
No, this is too long.
She's saying this podcast is too long. Baby, I'm coming. This is John Savage.
No, it's too long. It's not your show.
It's not my show, babe. Okay, cool. All right, we're almost done. Yeah.
All right. I'll give you one then. All right. What is the thing from all of the people that you've admired and all of the guys you've like studied, and now because you are a radio craftsman, and what is the single thing that you think is the inspirational lesson that you try to embody, that you think is the heartbeat of what makes your show your show?
I'm not gonna answer that. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm thinking now when you said that. Okay, cool. So when I started, my objective was not to do what has become, but what I've realized in the shoes that I am is my job right now is to uplift and take everybody that is associated or involved in what I'm doing to the top. So
cool.
If you look at my trajectory, if you look at my trajectory of the podcast, like from 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000, right now, I feel like whoever was a part of this journey, I want to take them with me to 100,000, to 1,000,000, to whatever. That's why if you watch the podcast religiously, you'll see I'm always trying to have platforms where I can put other people on, because for the longest time, no one wanted to take a risk on me. No one wanted to put me on.
So you know what it's like to not get a chance.
Exactly. And that will supersede all the views. It will supersede me as a person. Because John, if you have a kid that's trying to rap, but 5FM is not playing their music, Highfeld is not playing their music, but he can come on my platform with the little subscribers that I have, I put him on. You will never forget that. You will never forget that I put your kid on, and that will supersede my. It's a legacy. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
It's not even
100% in line.
It's not even monetary value. Like what you're doing with the Amp Studios, dog. Like there's kids that go there and record, and who can be the next Nasty C, and they'll always say, "My first recording studio was at Amped." And that supersedes all the money Old Mutual is giving you. That supersedes all the views we get when we post all the interviews you do, because you're changing someone's life. You're changing someone's life, and that has more impact than views and money. Because at the end of the day, dog, we have the tools and we're able to, yes, get fired from 5, get fired from Highfeld, and still raise ourselves above the grain and still go to the top. But now we have to show the people at the bottom how to get to the top, and that's where brilliance comes in. Because once you don't do that, then you're selfish. Then everything that God has blessed you with is useless.
Now that's why I think we get on very well. We've definitely aligned on how we see the world and why we're here, which is very cool. I know your lady's gonna slaughter me, but I'm gonna have one more.
No. Yeah, let's keep going. Don't worry about it.
One more. Okay, this is my last question, and the question is, it's my Oprah question.
I'm saying let's keep going. This is the dopest interview I've done, because not a lot of people do podcasts with me. I always interview the guest, but I want whoever watches this, because people see me as the podcast guy. I'm interviewing celebrities, whatever, but they don't know what I think, because when I do an interview, it's not about me. You know what I mean? It's about the guest. So I can never push home my agenda, my views. So this is the one platform that I have where I can say to you, yo, John, this is what's happening. That's why the first thing I asked you is, hey, what happened with the design? because that's always been in the back of my mind. Because the same way you answered is the same way I feel. Like corporate has a disconnect with us people, but they're trying to direct the messages to us people. And that's what radio has lost. Radio is corporate, bro. And it used to be for the people. YFM was the dopest shit ever because it was about the people. And the advertisers came on because people, the numbers, advertisers chase numbers. You understand?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's you're saying, that's this hard lesson for me as well. It's a brand is not a person. A brand, unfortunately, cannot do what a person can do. A brand's survival is based on the ability to survive, whereas a person won't die if they offend someone. A brand can die if they offend someone. And it's so weird. I'm not joking. Like, hearing me speak like this is a testament to what I've had to go through to be able to speak like this. Because not long ago, I'd be saying exactly what you're saying. Except, I had my cock chopped off, my head chopped off, my arms chopped off, my legs chopped off, and I had to reprioritize everything that I thought I believed, but I still didn't kill the dream. I just realized, okay, that's where I want to go. This is the price I have to pay to get there. I realized, like, I've only got so much energy. I want to spend it on the bigger vision, and I'm happy to lose a few battles if I can just win the war,
Yeah, and I want to work with you because fuck, man, dude, I love what you're doing, bro.
And this is the beauty of YouTube and Spotify, is that what you're doing and what we're doing with this show, we don't answer to fucking nobody.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. The beauty in you is that yes, you're doing it, but we need a Tandi Samazwai to co-sign you. We need Kaifa Samenya. We need Questa. We need all those people. Because when you go into that boardroom, you're alone. But if Questa comes in there, if I come in there, if Fresh comes in there, whoever else comes in there, your voice is now louder. But you know what you got to understand, John, is that everything started with an idea. You know how the Afrikaners, the Oppenheimers, and the whatever gained power. You know what they did?
Not my game, that one. Getting power, not my game.
They started. It all starts with a simple idea. They started with banks. They're like, you know what? Let's start a bank just for Afrikaners, right? So they kept their money within each other. And it got to a point where they gained so much money that they started buying out all these other things. And now, 200 years later, 100 years later, they are the Oppenheimers, Stellenbosch Mafia, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that it started with an idea. So, yes, the idea that I'm trying to enforce to you, which is why I keep bringing you back, seems foreign to you. But it needs to start somewhere. And we're at a point right now where we don't realize our power, and I'll tell you why. There's a campaign that I was involved in, ashamedly so. Kanyimba was involved in. SAB paid us money to say,
I know about this is a travesty, bro. This is a fucking embarrassment.
I was part of it.
I didn't know that, but this is a big fucking embarrassment for the world of advertising.
Exactly. It showed me the power, because for me, I was like, fuck, you're gonna pay me 30K. I'm like, shit, I'll tweet, whatever. I don't give a fuck. When I get paid 20K, it's just one tweet. But it was the first time where I've been at the end of backlash from a tweet.
Well, you compromised yourself there.
No, it didn't gain momentum. It was more on Kanyimba because she was.
But I'm saying you compromised yourself by taking that deal.
Yes. Because I was like, oh shit, it's 30K.
Yeah.
Fuck. Let me tweet. I don't give a fuck, But I realized by the backlash, because I've tweeted, like, if you follow me on Twitter, I don't tweet much. Whatever I have to say, I say on my show. On Twitter, I just say, hey, I did a podcast with John Savage. Here's the link. Check it out. I'm out. I don't never speak about my beliefs. What I'm saying
bro,
now.
You're gonna give me a swipe up.
Yeah, swipe up. Exactly. You know. So it was the first time I got backlash. That's when I realized, oh shit. Because I'm thinking, yo, I'm not Kanye Bao, bro. She's got millions of people. I just have 25,000, 20,000. What impact does it have? And I realized that actually this shit has an impact. And I could have told SAB, fuck you. No one cares about alcohol right now. People are losing their lives. Every single day, someone is dying. The last thing people are thinking about is the ban of alcohol.
And their livelihoods, which is sometimes worse.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't say that because I was thinking from that point of view.
20 grand, right?
You know what I mean? But imagine now, Kanye Bao, that 150, 200K, however much they gave her, the damage is done. Credibility is gone.
I mean, I want to just say this is completely up to you. I would love to include this section in the podcast because I think this is an important subject, or is it, or are you not comfortable?
No. You can put. I don't know. You can put it up, though. I'm everything I've said, Jay. You can put it up. I'm chill, bro. I'll say it on my podcast. I'll say it anyway because it's my values. You know what I mean?
That was you know, crazy. But I mean, to be honest, I throw it in your face a little bit because it's kind of it's the same situation as your interview at our mutual.
100%.
When your livelihood is jeopardized or impacted, you don't think straight.
And that's what I'm trying to say to you, John, is that if me, you, Kanye Bao, all these people stand together and we are fighting for one cause, who are all these brands going to go to? Like, what I'm trying to say is that we have more power than we realize.
Yeah.
I understand when you walk into that meeting, you're minuscule, you don't matter because you're not making the final decisions and you're just trying to provide for your family, provide for your wife, protect your livelihood, right? And I'm saying what we need to do, just like Mandela did, is sacrifice that for a greater goal. Because if we don't, no one else will. It's just going to be continuous until these guys realize that, hey, listen, Sharp, you have the money, you can sign off, but do not disrespect or look beyond the people that make what your brand is all about.
I agree with you. But however, the thing I don't agree with you is I think we're doing it.
You
know, I think, the thing about Madiba was fucking sharp, man. And he was a diplomat. He knew when was the time to fight. And he knew the time was to be smart. The way he fucking engineered FW de Klerk to sort of surrender was through respect, was through understanding his needs, understanding the environment, leveraging that environment. He didn't just go, fuck you, this is the way I want it.
So you say I must channel the energy.
So I'm saying you stick, the idea of having a principle is important, but the strategy is part of it. And what I'm saying is that
girl, she's drunk.
No, guys, it's late. I think now we've wrapped it up. It's good. You guys are bonded.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Nah. I need him now.
All right, Mac.
Wait, hold on. Speak to her. Hold on.
John, I know you, John. You're the John that always takes him away from me. I need him now. It's late. No, John. You've gone from John Savage to John Late. John, it is late now.
John, please ask her how Grandeur started the gin. Please ask her.
No, not today. Not today.
Well, there isn't going to be. I don't think you'll allow us to have another interview. So let's just get it out now.
Please ask her.
What is the story behind the gin? Because I love it. I really love the way that you guys have done it, and I admire it.
Please tell me.
I don't even know where to start, but the inception of it, essentially, he went to 947 because he was still working there at the time.
You're lying, baby. So this is what happened. This is what happened, right? So I'm like, ish, baby.
Hey, let her talk. I've heard enough of you. I want to hear her story.
Yes, exactly. Then there's that. So essentially, him and I were having a conversation for like about a month. We're trying to figure out how do we get rich? How do we bust out of the whole thing of like, working for other people? How do we make it? And the entire month, we're trying to figure it out. We come up with different ideas, but nothing was working. And we could tell that like it wasn't landing. You know when you come up with ideas, but you're like, no.
Give me an example of one of the bad ideas you came up with.
Cleaning service.
Car wash app.
Car wash.
I came up with an idea for a car wash app for elite cars, only like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff.
But that's not enough to make the type of money we need.
Right on.
So then as time went by, we let it go and we're just like, okay, cool. Let's chill and go about our lives. The idea will come when it comes. And then one day when he went to work, he was still working at 947. I don't know why he disputed that, but he was still working there. He left me on a Saturday night. And bear in mind, Saturday back then, there was no lockdown, no corona. You could drink until. You could have a vibe until. So we're vibing and everything is nice. And he has a 10 p.m. show, ne? Block party. He had a block party show at 947 and he's about to leave. And when he leaves me while we're drinking the whole day, he leaves me with this amount of alcohol. This little, literally 2 glasses left.
And you stayed with him? That's on you.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I even question myself, like, how dare you? Did you not want better for yourself, DJ? But I stayed. I was like, you know what? This guy's a smart guy. He'll figure something out. So then cool. He leaves for work and I stay at home. But what happened after that was the inception of Grandeur Gin. Because what happened was while he was at work and now it's an hour later, he's about to link and I send him a text because while he was away, he doesn't realize that the alcohol he left me with was so little that I needed another drink. And I was buzzing at the time because he told me that thing. Yeah, he told me that thing that like, yo, whenever you're driving alone or drinking alone, that's the best time to come up with ideas. So I was drinking alone now because he's left me. And now I'm like, wait. I need another drink, but I can't have one. What must happen? And that's when I was like, oh my word, we need to produce our own alcohol so that we never run out. So then I call him same time. I don't even care whether he's on or, whatever hashtag is going to trend. If he misses a link, I call him instantly and he's about to link at 947. I'm like, babe, I just realized that we cannot be buying alcohol from anyone else. We need to make our own gin.
And I was like, oh shit.
So there's the genius there's the genius in the MacG empire sitting next to you, man.
I own all the royalties, guys. Everything, all of it.
Dude, I was like, oh shit.
But hang on a second. There is a very big difference, there are a lot of people who would say, let's make our own gin. There are a handful of people who would actually do it. How the hell did you actually do that?
So essentially, he called me back. He's like, babe, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, listen, I feel like we can make our own gin. So the beauty about us is that I am an avid lover of research, which just works with him. So as soon as he said, how do we do it? Figure out how we do it and we'll make it. I started researching that minute. I researched everything. Where do we do it? Whether it's in South Africa or out the country, how do we do it? Where do we get the bottles? Everything. I found everything within 6 hours. And the next morning, we knew how to do it in South Africa or not. And that was the beauty of it.
Wow.
And then I went, because I was still employed.
Hey, not interested in your story, Mac. Hand the mic back.
John. I see what you're trying to do now, John.
I've got the answers of everything you need, just so you know. Whatever you want to know about him, ask me. Don't ask him.
Finish the story. The gin is your baby. I want to hear the rest of the story from you.
I kid you not, bro. And then I went, because I was still employed, I got a loan for 300K.
Yeah,
200K. We printed our first bottles. I did this on Canva.
The bottles.
If you go on Canva, you can still find this logo.
You did it on Canva.
Changed it.
I've got the old bottle. Let me show you.
I want to say hallelujah to Canva. Like the fact that you fucking did it on Canva, that speaks to my heart. I only work on free apps. Like
this is the first bottle. This is the first bottle of Granger. I kid you not. If you go on Canva, there we go. You'll find this on Canva. There's a logo like this. It took me 5 minutes. Len gave me the name.
Put it in the light. I can't see it exactly. It's quite dark. Just there we go. And then go up. Wow. Okay. Shit.
Yeah. On Canva, there's a logo like this, and on the white bottle, we changed it a little bit because my woman is like, "Yo, people have this logo."
Amazing. So when did you start? When did this start?
2018. After I got let go at 947. That's when the podcast started and everything, bro.
And what kind of units are you shifting? Can't you speak about that? Like what? I don't know about the industry, so I don't know if you tell me it's good or bad. I have no idea.
Nah, our units aren't that great, man. We just push units from people that listen to the podcast because it's tough to get into retail and distribution because it's predominantly white owned. So if you don't have,
why don't we talk?
Yeah, let's, bro. I'm trying to get into macro spot. Please tell him how hard it is as a black person.
I got an idea.
No, we've been trying, and I don't know. Like at this point, I even said to mom, like, baby, let me just fuck one person.
Hi, baby.
Let's just. You know what I mean? And then we're in. You'll forgive me. It's okay.
You know what? When this bottle starts flying, bro, you'll forget that ever happened, I'm sure.
Yes. He'll forgive me.
He's in Cape Town, baby.
Not me.
He's in Cape Town right now.
I'm not the guy. You fuck me, you'll get nothing out of me. I can't help you.
Dude, we're in Cape Town. It's fucking amazing. We're by Hood Bay, ne?
Hout Bay.
Oh, man, it's amazing. I love Cape Town. All right, John, let me go make some more babies, man.
Listen, guys.
Yes.
Both of you. I appreciate you lending me your man.
But seriously, can you hear me, baby?
No, I can hear.
You can hear. Yeah.
But to you, I just want to say to you, Mac, I'm a huge fan of your work. I love working with you. You are a pioneer. The fact that I'm honored to be doing the stuff that we're doing. I try not to be difficult, but I know that it's hard. And I really respect. I'll tell you this. I had so much respect and admiration for you before we did this show. And I hope everyone who listens, and I hope your fans listen to this, because getting to know you, this is the first ever real conversation we've had. Whenever I phone you, this is what I want. But getting to know you really, exclamation marks to me, the artist that you are. It reveals the truth behind what makes you great. And I believe you are truly one of a kind. I think you are a megastar in the making, and I'm honored to be working with you. Really, and you obviously got a strong woman right next to you. And
this is my rock, my life. This one.
Also, you must know he has a thing that we both have, which is low key. Whenever it's like 15 minutes past an interview, he gives me a signal, and I know that, like, I know, baby, it's over. He's like, yeah, no, baby, distract me, it's late. You guys went for 3 hours. I couldn't do shit.
In my defense,
working up there in the backgrounds. He didn't care. It's the first interview he's ever done that with.
Can I just say, in my defense, I accidentally didn't record the first hour. So
it makes sense. Now I get it.
Yeah. No, I love you long time, John. Love you long time.
Guys, man. Go and fuck. I love you. Bye.
Peace out.